So this film, based on a true story by Tim Ballard, who was a Homeland Security agent, speaks about how he saved children who were trafficked to be sex slaves, and how this is still an industry that's very large and growing. And this is an important film to see and watch, and this is what some people's reactions were to this film. Not to be any spoilers here, but Tim Ballard, the real person, quit his job at Homeland Security and now dedicates his whole life to rescuing children who have been trafficked.
If you haven't gone and seen The Sound of Freedom, please do. Please go see it and bring as many people as you can. Go to angel.com/freedom to pay it forward. I'm about to do that. You can get free tickets.
By the way, it's disturbing, it's emotional, it's tough, it's painful. At the end, Jim Caviezel gives a message. When the movie ends, 3 minutes later, he's given a message, profound message that you have to watch. The stats that they gave, that 20 plus million child pornography pictures were uploaded on the internet the last year, a 5,000% increase in the last 5 years. The idea where they said every year 2 million kids go into trafficking, going into being sold in the black market, what he did. And then while this is going on, everybody needs to go watch it.
I don't know what else I can say. Just go see it when you get a chance. Go see it. And this day forward, protect your children.
Raging around it, Sound of Freedom is an excellent movie that kept me thoroughly gripped from start to finish. It's a film that reminds us that even though there's a lot of bad people in this world doing the worst things imaginable, there are also still good men fighting to bring them to justice. And maybe that's something we could all do with remembering. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
But I was watching this, and that there are evil gangsters, I know. That doesn't baffle me. That there are people who are carried away by their desires to do horrible, horrible things, even though they know they're wrong. Obviously, that bothers me, but I get it. I know that people do that. What I found myself baffled by are the people who have convinced themselves that this is right, and they have let their desires shape them. And obviously, this use of children is something that is seeping into our society.
So people have been recommending this movie that have seen it. Again, this is a real issue of child trafficking. Right here is the real life Timothy Ballard, who is the main character of the film, who has been spoken with President Trump, who has been through various Senate committees and spoken about the issues with child trafficking within the United States and around the world, and how this is a serious issue that has to be stopped. Take a listen to what Timothy Ballard has to say.
Increased 360% the adults who come in with kids who aren't their kids. And there's been some assumptions, I think, that need to be dispelled. I've heard today about that parents are sending their kids. That's not necessarily the case. I have information about kids being kidnapped and used as pawns to be their get-out-of-jail-free card, as Senator Cruz pointed out, to get in and say, look, I can claim asylum now. So these kids are being utilized. Frankly, and this is sad, the best case is that they're just being utilized so someone can get in and stay in. But I fear that once they're already vulnerable, now there's a very profitable market in child sex in this country. Now where else are they going to be taken? So I'm very concerned about. There's more than 10,000 unaccompanied minors currently in custody. Currently in the care or custody of the United States government. I'm very worried about those. I'm worried also, Senator, about certain protections in an effort to give protections to those who would claim, I'm a sponsor of this kid, I'm the kid's parent. And we want to protect those to facilitate the process of reuniting families. But please, let's put measures in place to have identity hearings or whatever is required to make sure that those kids are going back to parents and not back to their traffickers. I work operations in 20 countries, and I can tell you that when we save these kids and we take them to rehabilitation centers, we have them under lock and key. We have guards, armed guards to protect them because their traffickers come looking for their property.